Long?
Yup. One of my notes that I wrote, it was a loss, but one of my notes that I wrote was I shouldn't just join. I shouldn't get in. Oh, wait, what is it? I shouldn't be testing out. So one of the notes that I took away, and I remember you said this yesterday. I don't know if you repeated it on this day, the 12th, but like I would see tiny pullbacks as my confirmation, where you were like, no, you need to see big pullbacks or big action to the pullback. Like I can't just see it go above a point and then that's to me that's the pullback. It's like no, you need to see it go high and then like by a couple of points and then come pull back.
Yeah, I remember Gabriel and I, you might have not been on that review, but we said we would like it to at least do like, I think it was like 4 to 6 points.
Yeah, 4 to 6
I
points.
can actually, this is actually a perfect example here. Hold up. Where's my.
So when we're talking about the where it passes 4 to 6 points, that proves that buyers are trying. And then when it comes back down to the outlier, if it holds, that means buyers are still there, which gives you the probability of it going your direction long. So the rally is for the purpose of seeing that the buyers are there, and then the pullback for support is to gauge whether the buyers are still going to support that move. And if it doesn't go below the outlier or if it doesn't go below your stop or whatever, then you could take the trade based off context and all that stuff too. But that's what the rallies and pullbacks are for, in my opinion.
Look, this is a perfect example. The outlier here to me was at 60.39. And then I also did your thing, Elon, where you put the outlier line. So right here, I knew there was an outlier at 60.55. And then I also marked the 60.27 outlier, which started getting respected. It popped, but I didn't want to enter early in the day, in the morning. So I was just like, I'm gonna have to miss this. But and I was also emotional a bit on this because I was like, fuck, like I just missed that opportunity. But then like I just kept my head in the game, and I seen this outlier appear. Uh, this was just the 1,000, but then when I zoomed out some more, it had like a 3,000 lot bubble. So I was like, okay, this is super key. It's above VWAP. Looking at talking about the 6 point push. So 60.39 to 60.55. That's 6 points. 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. Yeah. Wait, what? What is it? That's more than 6 points. I'm 50. 60, 30. Yeah, that's actually way more than 6 points. But it didn't pull back to it. So I was just also just waiting for was there news this day? What day is this?
Yeah, there's
The 12th?
Jerome Powell at 7.
Oh yeah, so again, same as the previous day, he was also speaking. So I was also hesitant on entering uh, when he speaks, and knowing that yet the previous day there was some volatility when he spoke, I was like, okay, there may be some volatility when he speaks again. So I also had in mind that there's a possibility that it could pull back on him talking. So I was very patient to wait for that to happen. But even looking at my chart here, okay, this specifically on the CPI news, yeah, on the CPI news at 5:30, we pulled back into a super strong key level, 45-minute demand, and it was making a higher low compared to Sunday. So to me, that's bullish just for the week also, the fact that we made a higher low than Sunday. Um, and then once we got into the trading day, that's in here.
Oh, you found a way to navigate
When
through the
the market,
screens?
what?
So you found a way to navigate through the screens?
Yeah.
That's it.
This is my journal actually, that's why.
Oh, okay.
45-minute 6028 held in pre-market. So the fact that the outlier appeared 6039 over here and seeing that it was resistance in pre-market, I wanted to see a pullback hold that 3,000 lot outlier. The fact that it was 3,000 lots also was super important to me because I was like, okay, this is strong buying happening here. And then looking at NQ had pulled back into some gap that I don't know why I had. I don't know where it came from. But then the fact that on the pullback, it also was holding above the gap, that was super good to me. And then SPY was holding that key 1 hour demand zone. So that was all bullish context, even though we had such an aggressive sell off. More than anything, what made me bullish was this. And this I also was paying attention to because Dylan had mentioned it in his Sunday or Monday video. So I was like, okay, this is important. The fact that Sunday's low is being held above. Um, and then coming into the actual trading, here I would say that the pop. Oh, this is the 6 point pop here. So it this is when it happens, right, Gabriel?
What day was this? I don't think I was here.
No, I'm referring to like the idea of the pop. When it's pulling back and you're about to enter. Damn,
Oh
this
yeah.
happened. This is actually tough here because the outlier appeared, it popped, and then it came down. And when I seen buying happening, I entered long, but it wasn't the right time to enter. It had a 6 point pop, 39 to 45. Yeah, 6 point pop. And then it pulled back, stopped me out, and then the actual buying happened. So sometimes you want it to be straight off the outlier, a 6 point pop, and then pullback. And then other times it may take two tries to actually, like Gabriel said, sometimes you're the first one and then it pulls back, stops you out, and then it's the second one that actually works. So there's
That level of
it's just like
patience, bro.
navigating the way what's happening in the moment. Because this buying that occurred, I wouldn't say was a good time to enter. It was a good attempt, but it wasn't like the best time to enter. Whereas this one made more sense to me. Just the fact that the selling was kind of weak, the buying here was aggressive, and then when this buying stepped in, it was at my key level. It just made more sense here. Even though I knew I was getting in a bit early because what I really wanted was for us to hold above 40. But I liked the probabilities here, so I was like, I'm gonna give it a try, and then just pay attention to if we're holding above 40. And sure enough, we just popped right through it. My exit again, I think, was not good. I could have done high a day over here, and I ended up exiting early. Very I think I could have even gone higher. But yeah, that was my thought process on that trade. Um, did you take more trades, Eli?
No, not on that day.
But do you get how we're talking? Why we're saying like look at market context and then pay attention to that outlier and let it pop and pull back and hold. Like I feel like there's like back to back things you really want to see happen before you take your trade. The way Gabriel said, like wait for that outlier to appear, wait for the reaction to happen, and then start thinking about how you're gonna enter.
Yeah, that's like 3 rules to an outlier appearing. Like, so you see the outlier, give it some time to see how if it pulls. First of all, see the outlier, and then the significant reaction to the initial reaction to the outlier. Like if that outlier caused it to go up, and then wait for a significant pullback. As I'm writing these notes down right now, and then and then with the
I
pull,
would
real
I
quick.
would say before you even consider the reaction to an outlier, see the outlier appear and then base it off market context first, and then wait for the reaction. So you're not
Yeah.
wasting your time. You know what I mean? So wait for the outlier, and if it's in a key zone, then you wait for the reaction. If things are aligning on NQ, VX, and ES, then you wait for the reaction. If it's not aligning, then you move on to the next one. So look at the outlier appear, then market context, then reaction.
Well, would it be then pullback, and then wait to see what happens at the pullback to develop like your actual entry, target, and stop?
Well, when you see that initial pop, like already start being prepared for like the pullback and where around where you want to see that entry be.
Mm-hmm.
Like here, obviously this happened without some of this happened. Yeah, all this happened without me. So I was emotional. I was like, damn, this shit's taking off. But then I seen that outlier appear, and now I was like, okay, there's something potentially happening here. So also in my head, I was like, oh, Palace speaking at 7, so that could bring some volatility for a pullback back into that outlier. So that gave me patience there. That was like, okay, fuck, I have a chance. It may come. So then once that happened, already I was expecting market to kind of, I wouldn't want to say expect, but I wanted to see the market pull back to my outlier. And once that happened, I was like, oh shit, my opportunities like here. This is what I was waiting for. Now I'm looking for that first sign of buyer. And I think that's what made me enter early here, was that I wanted to see buyers, and I wanted to see this level work. So as soon as I seen buyers, I entered. But then I got stopped out. And but see how like it was like, okay. Oh, also one thing I didn't mention in that process was the fact that we had bounced off of a key 45-minute demand. So the fact that we had such aggressive selling and the market still couldn't break under this key level was bullish to me. So seeing the outlier appear contextually, it made sense. Also because we were holding a, it was like at this resistance level. Spy was bullish. NQ, like I said, was holding that gap. So that's me knowing once the outlier appeared, I was looking at those things. I was like, okay, it's at around a level that was resistance in pre-market. We're bullish here, the way we're holding this key level. So that's what I'm thinking of as the outlier appears. And I believe I was also paying attention to the percentage of what ES was doing and what NQ was doing. I think NQ was stronger this day. Let me check my notes real quick. Uh, yeah, NQ became stronger. So that was super key to me to trusting that setup also. Um, that's basically it for this one. I don't know. I didn't really play Bookmap. I just kind of showed you guys my screenshots. Did you guys want to see Bookmap?
No, we were seeing it. I was going to tell you when I noticed if you're going to start putting those lines for the outliers like I do, I think the line having to continue to extend itself because the market's moving, it causes the program to like, I don't know, use up more energy or whatever. And I think that's what was causing mines to shut down. But it hasn't shut down in a while. Like it stopped shutting down all this week where I didn't have to
That
save
was
it.
the update, dog.
No, it was
Oh,
it
yeah.
was still shutting down during the first couple of weeks of the update, and that's why I was like, oh, I would have thought the update fixed it, but now it's not shutting down. So I don't know if it took some time to adjust,
That's
but
weird.
yeah, and then it might
That's
not affect
crazy.
yours if yours is updated and everything. But I felt like as soon as I would start putting the lines, I would start hearing the fan in my computer turn on.
Oh, my fan always turns on. I'm scared of how long this laptop's gonna last me, actually. Um,
I'm ready to get the new one.
so hopefully my profits before it dies pays for another one. That'd be sick.
I know, really sick.